So let's just settle into our meditation posture. So as much as you can, try and go inwards. And take this opportunity to settle the body, to settle yourself energetically, physically, mentally, and just bring all those elements inside. So this meditation is really, it's actually quite introspective. We're using our mind. We're going inside. So it's actually quite restful to do that because you're not having to process and compete with outside sounds, noise, light, voices, people, other people's energy. So just bring yourself in, settle your mind, settle yourself. And if you do have your feet flat on the floor, just check all those little toe pads, the big toe mound, the little toe mound, the outer arches, the soles of the feet. And be on your sits bones, right on top of them. Shoulders aligned with the hips, and just lengthen the spine. You can imagine it's a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And take a nice deep breath. Just know that however it is you're turning up this evening, whatever has been going on for you today, it's all okay. So bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the back of the head, at the area of the occiput. Relax the neck, the shoulders, the back, the throat, the chest, the belly, and all of your limbs. Then be aware if you have any sounds in your environment, and just allow those sounds to be there. Just trying not to follow them with the mind. And then bring again the mind back to the breath. And then again noticing the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. And then notice the thoughts as they're arising. How has your mind been today? Is it a little bit better than yesterday? A little bit more unstable than yesterday? You just notice how it actually changes according to really what's going on in your environment. But you know, if we can stabilize our mind, we can encourage ourselves to keep our mind stable. Whatever hurricane is going on outside, we are just going to keep moving forward steadily. So that takes considerable discipline to not get involved in the drama. Particularly when it's drama we can't do anything about. So whatever thoughts are arising, you can just package them. Perhaps you can put them into a nice little helium balloon, label them, categorize them. This is thinking thoughts. These are angry thoughts. This is planning. And you can also put them on a little white fluffy cloud and just allow them to float on their way as you blow them off, blow them away. So let's put ourselves on the bank of our river, just noticing the quality of the water. the speed of the water, the depth of the water, clarity. And then just know that while we're sitting on the bank, we're free from that river. And then all our people, the people who are in our life, these are the ones we love so dearly, care about so much. We have attachment to them, we love them. And then we have these folks in our life who are just, they range from irritating and annoying to we have huge aversion. And then we have strangers. And all these folks can change place. These relationships can change place at any time. So perhaps that's been happening for you of late. Perhaps it has happened to you in your life. Perhaps relationships have changed around. And however you think about these people, they're all actually the same in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering, and in having this extraordinary capacity for an enlightened mind, the mind of a Buddha. So we start by thinking. We'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we start by thinking that there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with the mind, so we can change it by creating positivity instead. So we sincerely regret from the depths of our heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of the specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then just regret everything, things you can't remember. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of this future suffering that we ourselves will experience. And we know from the present suffering, we don't want more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can we do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. And we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. So we're not wanting Buddha Vajrasattva's approval. We're not wanting forgiveness. We're not wanting even, relying on the telling us what to do, taking all our pain away. We're actually going to do the work ourselves. And it gives us more power, more integrity. So Vajrasattva has these methods. So we're going to use his methods like medicine. So here we have Vajrasattva, this image, beautiful, sweet image of Vajrasattva. And imagine this, something similar to this, energetically even, if you can't imagine all that detail, on the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And then we have this little section on compassion. In order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So this is why it's in this section called reliance. The very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and we have compassion for them because they're going to suffer as a result of the harm they've done. So make strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice, doing the mantra and the visualization. So we start with our body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, but one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hom Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hom Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hom Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hom Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hom Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with this body of ours. So next is a purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body. Except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and it overflows quite powerfully and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you, all this inappropriate speech, all our unwise speech, blurting things out, So all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasedi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Om Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech, including yourself. And next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva again very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on the switch. The light in the room instantly dispels the darkness. So the moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all the attachment and neediness and anger and bitterness and violence, depression, anxiety, resentment, jealousy, grudges, bitterness, all instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Tita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, be completely delighted that all your delusions, and this is the source of all of our own suffering, the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech. Just imagine they're totally gone, completely purified, finished. And now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And so you can imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. It fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth step in the purification process and a really crucial one. And this is the determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. So we want to think initially about just starting by refraining. And without making a decision, we're going to keep doing the same old things. And this determination, this aspiration to not harm, is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So everything exists on the tip of the wish, the aspiration. So think of something that you've been working on. Rejoice in your efforts, rejoice in your progress. Just note where you've come from and where you are now. And think of something you'd like to work on. Could be your speech, could be some physical habit you have. Maybe you have an addiction to chocolate chip cookies and you have high blood pressure or high blood sugar. So you might want to refrain from eating so much processed sugar. Maybe have a habit to sort of let things slip out the mouth. So you could think, well, when I go to bed tonight, I'm not going to eat chocolate chip cookies or gossip because I'm going to be asleep for 8 hours. So I won't do that for 8 hours. And then you've kept that vow to yourself. It's really simple. So you make these little vows that we make to ourselves while we're moving along the path, make it doable. Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown and think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for those of you who have teachers in your life, you can make strong requests for those teachers to live long. So we could start maybe with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who's now well into his 80s. So just make strong prayers that His Holiness can continue to remain healthy and teach and give advice for as long as possible, and for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation. That's going to be a moment of great joy to some of Rinpoche's, or all of Rinpoche's students. And then any other teachers you have in your life, make a request for them to live long. Okay, everybody. Lots of love. Have a wonderful weekend. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Stay safe and take good care. Okay, thank you for hosting, Alexis and Shayla and whoever, and Mary, whoever else has been watching the door to keep away the Zoom bombers. All right, lots of love, everyone. Have a good weekend. Thank you.